I didn't have my headset on. Okay, hey Slayers, it is I, the one and only world's coolest Sega enthusiast. I didn't have my headset. Okay. It is I, the one and only world's coolest Sega enthusiast, Sega Slayer 64, and welcome to a bit of a little stream I wanted to do. So, yesterday I gave you guys quite a short, Sunday fun day, at least from what you're used to. So I said, okay, I got this Super Mario 64 ROM hack. We're gonna play it. I don't know how long this stream is gonna be. It could end up being 15 minutes. It could end up being 20 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. Okay, but we're gonna play it. I'm gonna show it off here. And yeah, I wanted to give you guys a short bit of content. Consider a bit of an extension from what we did yesterday. It's me, Mario. Since I just want to make sure you guys
Hello.
It's me, Mario. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna be playing this game. Like I said, I don't know how long the stream is gonna be. It could end up being 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 5 minutes. I don't know. But this is the ROM hack I have. This is the one we're gonna play. Essentially, I felt a little bit bad because I kind of cut yesterday's Sunday Fun Day short. Like I said, I was kind of tired yesterday and just, I don't know, I might not have been in it as much as I was. So I was like, okay, you know, I'll give you guys a little bit of an extension. And I had this on my computer actually. I had this same ROM hack on my computer yesterday for us to play on stream. But I didn't end up, like I said, I didn't end up playing it. I did cut the stream a little bit short from my initial plan. So I said, you know what, let's download it on the Odin, get it set up, and let's go ahead and play it for you guys on a short stream. So Odin, okay. So at first this is gonna appear to be a normal Super Mario 64 ROM hack, and I'm gonna let you continue to think it's a normal Super Mario 64 ROM hack because it is not. Yeah, so freaking, I gotta fast forward. This looks nice, man. I mean, I love playing these games on the Odin. It was great, full speed, you know, all that good stuff. I actually got it upscaled to 1080p, so it's looking really nice here for us, right? So, yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and go on the castle here like we normally would, and yes, I am speeding the game up slowly because I don't want to sit through all this. It's Lakitu, move. So this ROM hack has one very interesting little thing going on. One very interesting little tidbit. Yes, it makes the castle camera weird, is what it does. That's it. Nothing else. Yeah, so thank you for tuning into this stream. I told you guys it was gonna be a short stream, and really, no, I'm joking. Okay, so what we want to do is go in here and go in here to Balmont Battlefield. And click Big Mama on Summit, and yes, it is what you think this is. This is apparently a port of Aquarium Park from Sonic Colors to Super Mario 64. They even ported the song. Does it run well? No. Does Super Mario 64 run well normally? No. So let's go. Don't ask me what's going on here, because I don't even know. I just downloaded this because I was bored. I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to download this. We're going to see what's up here, and apparently it does not work. What the heck am I stuck? Oh my god, Super Mario 64 rarely runs at its intended frame rate. What the heck is this? Again, I have no idea what this game is. I literally just downloaded it and I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm late. I was playing Among Us. No, you're not late. We just started a second ago. This is a strange ROM hack, okay, for Super Mario 64, and it essentially is supposed to port Aquarium Park into Super Mario 64. Now, it doesn't do that apparently. But I'll tell you this, I actually like the Super Mario 64 rendition of Aquarium Park's theme they got here, because, you know, Aquarium Park is, if you know me, you know Aquarium Park is, what the heck? If you know me, you know Aquarium Park is my favorite stage from Sonic Colors, so, you know, hearing that theme here is great. I don't know what is going on here, by the way. This is just weird, okay? It doesn't run well because, I guess it's just not properly seated. I maybe should have picked a better game. What you guys think? You think I should have picked something better? I probably should have, but you know what? Because there doesn't seem to be much to this. You see, it's just kind of, It's kind of weird. It's like a weird little. Like I went down here and there was nothing in here but like glitched particles and stuff. Like there's just like a broken area. It's actually just really. I like Planet Wisp. Planet Wisp coaster place in the first zone. Aquarium Park was just so nice to me. It always has been, and the music is great there too. Oh my god, the music is top tier. Oh, I'm going to drown. I'm going to drown. I'm going to drown. I'm going to drown. Oh no 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 no! I'm drowning. I'm dead. I don't even know where I am. I don't. Okay, this is broken. Now as far as I can tell, that's it. That's it. So you know what? I'm not gonna. I was gonna cut this short, but you know what? I'm not gonna cut it short. We're gonna get some more Super Mario 64 ROM hacks, okay? I'm not gonna cut this short because that was pretty crappy. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing there. There was like nothing there. So let me see. Star Road. I've always wanted to play Star Road. Screw The Last of Us. I've always wanted to play Star Road. Play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I want to, but I'm too lazy, Lamo, to you. Like, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm too lazy to go all the way, get a whole extra ROM file, get a ROM hack, and then play it. Like, I'm so lazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, the stream was just kind of thrown together. So, wait. No, I haven't seen Sonic Prime. Do not spoil it, please. It's a thing where I just got to get around to getting Netflix. So King Boo's Revenge, Luigi and the Valley of Stars, Super Mario 64 3D World. No freaking way. Hold on. What is this? Hold on there. I have to. Oh, we're getting this. No, but yeah, I haven't seen Sonic Prime yet. Hold on there. It's of course it's made by K's. Oh, so it just imports characters. Oh, so is that what it does? It's just Super Mario 64, but with every character, and you give them. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Wait, I swear if this is spoiler. Download. That's pretty corny. Fine, how about we do go get a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon ROM hack? Oops. I'd have to get a copy of the game, but Sky, I'm still waiting, right? I'm still waiting for a decent enough. I'm still waiting for everyone to start modding the ROM hacking the other games because I'm tired of The Last of Us show. It's already here. Martian watched the first episode and he enjoyed it relatively well. I'm not gonna watch it because I'm not interested in it, but he did, and he said he watched it last night. He waited for that premiere, and literally the moment 9 o'clock hit, he was on it, and yeah, he said it was good thus far. So. You know, he recommended it. I haven't checked it out. I maybe might do it way off in the future. I haven't even seen any of the Sonic movies. My time schedule has just been so compressed for so long. Ooh, what is this? Poke Wanderer. What? What? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to play that on my own. I want to play the Gates to Infinity remake so bad as well, but I don't. Maybe I should just get a PS5 and play the game. I don't think the show will be better. I don't like I don't. Personally, I'm not a Last of Us fan. I want to play something stupid. I really don't want to play anything that has too much story elements to it, because that's not really fun. Oh wow, this is one that it's not a hack of Gates of Boo Rescue Team, but it does incorporate the post office, so that's pretty neat. In the middle trails, okay, hold on. Library. Oh man, there's a lot of story hacks that aren't finished, but I'm also not interested in playing the difficulty hack because guess what? I've been really curious in this hacks. Legends from the Sky Defense. I've really been curious. So you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. I've been curious for this hack. Whatever. Just once. It's fine. Actually, this is not. I'm not supposed to. Okay, I might be in trouble. I might be in trouble because you're not supposed to open someone's Google Drive on video. I might be in trouble. Hopefully, I don't get murdered for that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put on shield mode for this next part because obviously, but you can still hear me. Sorry, my sinuses are a bit congested. Explorers. No, not. Classic right here, classic. I hate that all of these use Explorers with Sky instead of Gym Targets Cancel. I hate that all of these use Explorer of Sky instead of Explorers of Darkness, because that's the version I'd prefer to use. All of these use. Okay, just making sure my audio. Pikachu goes to St. Petersburg. Why? What's the inspiration behind that one? Like, what's the explanation behind that one? Because that's actually pretty good, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. Pikachu goes to St. Petersburg. I can't even talk. I'm looking for where was the actual what was it called? It was, I guess this would be it. Yeah, that is it. Okay. So now that the trivial part is done, I did a video on how to patch games, but I might do an updated one on how to patch them on Android. But the problem is Pikachu goes just because. The problem is when it comes to patching games on PC, there's a bunch of different file types. Like there's flips, there's XDelta, there's XDelta Lite. There's like 50 different. I did turn the shield mode off. I didn't. Okay. I thought I turned it off. Thank you for not. Yeah, but there's like 50 different types of patch files, and it's like I'd have to make, if I wanted to make an ultimate tutorial, I'd have to make one on Android, I'd have to make one on PC, or I'd have to make half of it. I'm not even done the Odin unboxing. Dear God, I haven't even finished working on it. You know why? Because up until this moment, I completely forgot about it. Dear God, oh my God, I have to work on that video tomorrow. I know Paulie and me have never even done our collab. I still haven't recorded the voices for that. I haven't even done the voices. It's actually relatively easy, Laymo. You just edit some text and you're good. For the most part, you just have to edit the text and you're pretty much good. Dear God, I haven't finished the unboxing. I still have to record that voiceover for Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. I've just been so backed up with everything, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've got a lot of stuff I have to do. Just a lot. So I'm looking for that's PNG. It's not the actual. So this is okay, output file, it'll be fine here in downloads, and we're good. What do you mean it's not? What do you mean it's not a valid XDelta 3? So should I take, wait a second. I don't have, it's an XDelta file. Okay, we're gonna have to look on Google Play, because I don't think there is an A standard. See, Unipatcher is X Delta 3. I don't think there's a standard. No. Okay, we'll try this one. I've never used this one, so... No, shut up, Google. I've never used this one, so... Charizard takes a bath, Charizard's funeral. I've never used this one, so I'm hoping this is good. Okay, so... Oh no, that's a CMTP. Oh, this is probably not going to work, because that's... Yeah, see, they patched it, but it's not... Wait 1 second, because we're running into a bit of... I realized we are running into just a bit of a problem here. At least a bit bigger of a problem than I thought we would have. Wait 1 second. This is the... This is probably not going to work. I'm hoping it does, but it's probably not going to work. Let's be honest here. Yeah, this is for... Yeah, this is for Super Mario 64. Like, Moti, this is, this might actually not work. I might have to, let me see something. We could try one more thing. We could try one more thing. We can try this one. This is, this might not be the one I'm used to using, but... Because, okay, we could try this one and hope and kind of pray that it works. All around, I don't know, but I'm hoping this does work, because if not, that'll kind of be it for the Pokemon Mystery done. Because if I wanted to do it, I'd have to, wait, okay. Still no, this is not gonna... Yeah, like Moti, this might be a hopeless endeavor, not gonna lie. Because there's no standard X Delta patcher for Android. Because this is for PC and there isn't. Wait. Hold on. Let's try this one, because this is the one I used to use. But no, I used to try to use this one, and the thing is, this one is a lot different because it loves to just force things through. Like, it doesn't actually pay attention to what something is. It just, like, kind of pushes it through, and it's just kind of like, blah, screw you. That's too big. Yeah, see, this is not going to work by far. Wait 1 second, I'm trying to... Yeah, this might be a situation where I just gotta, like, kind of press F, and... Yeah, so this is not gonna work by far. And the one I did, not core content. And the one I did have, it kind of just, like... was like, screw you, and didn't... And then I don't think this is gonna work because this is like 0 bits and you can already see it wasn't properly patched. Yeah, figures. So yeah, that is a by far press F thing. Sadness, I believe. So I guess because this entire thing has just been super underwhelming, we could try something different. I like playing this game called Extra Lives. I mean, I like playing I don't know if you know who Matt Dickey is, but he makes a lot of these wrestling and free Android games, and they're pretty fun. There's one based off superheroes, one based off prison, one based off zombies. There's one literally based off being Jesus Christ. There's one based off Wrestling Revolution. Cool wrestling. But I think I want to go for Extra Lives, the zombie one, because that's the one. My three favorite has always been Wrestling Revolution, Extra Lives, and Superhero City. So we're going to play Extra Lives. And essentially it's just a game where you just go around and do absolutely nothing with zombies. And I play as Calamity Jones. He's essentially, he's Indiana Jones technically, but I've joined the faction. So I've joined like this army faction. And this game just literally, wait. Hold on. We were going to play that. But wait a second. Wait 1 second. Because I'm going to have to clarify this really quickly. You know what Burrito Bison is? Also, I just realized the quality got in terror. Oh no, that's just on mine. Wait. You know what Burrito Bison is? We're playing Burrito Bison. Oh my god, I didn't know you actually knew what Burrito Bison was and liked. So last time me and Martian usually me and Martian used to race this game every year. So far I've reset a few times. I've time traveled. So this is one of my old save dates. This is probably from last year sometime. Oh no, yeah, this is from last year. I haven't even beat the game yet. So, yeah, you can tell that this is a bit of an old save file. But, yeah, Burrito Bison, I didn't know you. Yeah, see, this is not right. Because, like, is this pre-time? Yeah, this is pre-time travel. Never mind. So I did time travel. Okay. So, yeah, this is after I've already time traveled once. So, you know, that's why I'm starting way at the beginning. But you can already see I have everything unlocked. Because this is after I've time traveled once or twice already, so I'll probably end up restarting the game again at some point this year. It's actually pretty cool playing it on the Odin, not gonna lie. I was also gonna eventually download Roblox on this thing, since I don't hate Roblox like I used to. Like, I don't hate it. There are a few pretty, after doing the Roblox Sonic video and getting 70-something views, you know, that was pretty. I realized that it wasn't that bad. There's a few games on there that's actually pretty decent. I'm not even gonna lie to you. There's a few things that on there that are pretty decent. You can find Roblox. Like I said, I did too, but it's not something I actively play or a community I'm actively a part of, because I'm not a part of the community at all. In fact, I find the community actually pretty freaking weird half. Which, no offense to anyone who plays, Roblox, I'm just saying, some of the people you see that represent the Roblox community are a bit weird. But either way, like I said, all my little cousins and friends and pretty much all my little cousins, they all play play Roblox, man, so, you know, I used to enjoy it too back in the day. Back in the day when I was a kid though, like, I'm talking, I used to play Roblox in 2009, when that was the early years. When I used to play Roblox, it was the early years of Roblox, man, and, when Dan Cheatham started playing it. Like, yeah, when I used to play Roblox, it was the early years of Roblox back in the day, and, yeah, I was more of a, back then, even back then, I was more of a Pop Tropica guy. Like, that was it for me, man. Pop Tropica was, like, I want to get back into it, but I haven't, because it's still up, you know what I'm saying? You can still go play Pop Tropica, and there is I believe, I want to replay the DS game I had back in the day, man. It was, there were multiple of them. I actually forget the specific name, but I remember there was a museum. I had the game so long ago. Dude, I was like around 2000, I'd say around 2008 to about 2000, And when Dan TDM started playing, things went downhill. I was Dan TDM and Markiplier. I was Dan TDM and Stampy. Those were like, plus all the people I watch now. Some back in the day, some call me Johnny, AV Gen, Lonely Goomba. Yeah, I was watching all of those when I was kids. Don't be like me. Yeah, I was watching, you know, back in the day, my taste was a little more cultured as I would have liked. I would have told you back in the day because, yeah, I just didn't watch everyone else who was watching FNAF content and things like that. But, yeah, here I was watching Lonely Goomba, Stampy. I'll never forget Stampy, man. I still watch him to this day occasionally. I still go back. You know, I was watching guys like, you know, I was watching the techie YouTubers, right? I was that guy. I was watching, like I said, Lonely Goomba. Man, Lonely Goomba alone is such a huge part of my childhood. Some call me Johnny, of course, is still. He is one of the huge parts of my childhood. There was always history content there for me, you know what I'm saying? I was watching history videos at the age of 6. No, I was watching history videos. I started genuinely truly getting into history, especially like Cold War history, around the age of late preteen, so around the age of 12, not that. So about 2015, yeah, is when I truly started to flex those history muscles, as you'd like that you'd say. I used to watch a ton of TV. Oh, don't forget JonTron. I was a huge fan of JonTron. Vinesauce, specifically Joel. I always hated the Game Grumps. Even when John was there, like, I just couldn't stand. I still like. I was a huge fan of anything Normal Boots, though. Don't get me wrong. Don't confuse my hatred for Game Grumps as a hatred for Normal Boots, because dear God, Normal Boots was. Of course, I've already mentioned. I already mentioned that I was, you know, huge JonTron fan, but I was also a huge Peanut Butter Gamer fan. I was and still am a huge ProJared fan. Now listen, I know ProJared. Now the thing is with ProJared is when his controversy happened, I was pretty sad, to be honest, because I really love ProJared. But when it comes to this controversy, a lot of people stopped watching him because of it. I didn't particularly. I did. I always did. Johnny is Mr. Wan himself. Was, and always will be my favorite YouTuber of all time. When ProJared's controversy went down, I wasn't so much worried about the thing with his wife. What was it, Heidi? I believe that was her name. I forgot her name already, but I wasn't really worried about him cheating on his wife. That's none of my business from the start. I was worried about the other allegations that, you know, we're not going to talk about, so I don't get absolutely destroyed on YouTube. And once those were absolutely destroyed and proven false by him, I was fine with still watching ProJared, and I still do to this day. Oh, and we can't forget the man, the myth, the legend, probably the person I spent more time than any other, despite the fact that Johnny is my favorite YouTuber of all time. He really took that title as I got older, because back in the day, the GOAT and the king, and still is probably my third or second favorite YouTuber of all time, Kobanamani456. Oh man, Kobe, oh dude, man, if Kobe was here, I'm not gonna lie, if Kobe was here, he probably would still hold the title as my favorite YouTuber. And if he ever came back, he could probably take that title relatively easy again. Not that I would, because, you know, right now, how I have my list is, it's actually, some call me Johnny, and then it's Sega Lord X, of course, because he is the Grandmaster of Sega, of all things Sega-ness, you know what I'm saying? And then we got, well, you probably don't, you're not gonna know who Baldwin Bankrupt is, but he is a person who travels around the world. Particularly, he used to travel mostly around Soviet areas, and so he was a big person. He was a big part of, like, again, I wouldn't say my childhood, because he started doing YouTube in 2018, and by that point I was already, how old was I in 2018? I was 16. No, I was 16 in 2017. I'm in 2019. No, because in 20, I was 15. No, yeah, I was 15. No, I was not. I was 15. I was 14 when I started. He first started making the rounds in 2018 when he first started his channel, and from there I was hooked. That was, oh man, he was another big reason for You know, I've always loved history, and beforehand, most of my history was especially, most of the history I really loved was, more into, like, early American history, but not, like, early American history, more like early American, like, the darker parts of history, you know what I'm saying? Slavery. That's the best way I can say it without getting copyrighted. But, man, USSR history, like, I am that Soviet guy, like, their favorite country of all time, like, man, that's cool. But that's really, like, my YouTuber, I'm very varied. Most of my YouTubers, are, like, you know, guys like LGR and, Nostalgia Nerd and, 8-Bit Guy, and these are all, like, really good names, man, for, like, content, if you're looking for content. Kim Justice, and I used to watch America back in the day, but we, you know, rest in peace. I don't watch big YouTubers. I discovered Sega Slate. Munching Orange was great. I loved his Pokemon. Oh man, Chugga Conroy! Zack Scott, but Chugga Conroy, man! AVGen was always really good. Chugga Conroy, Sega Slayer is the biggest YouTuber I know. I really appreciate that. I discovered Sega Slayer in 2020. Chugga Conroy. If you don't know who of course, Tobuscus. Tobuscus was the original. I never discredit him. Back in the day, I remember it was always, me and Marcin used to argue about who was the king of YouTube at that time, because it was, like I said, we started YouTube early on, so, alright, the original, yeah, Chugga Conroy, the original, dude, I used to make it a tradition to watch his, Super Mario 64 DS Let's Play every year, because, you know, big Super Mario 64 fan, especially 64 DS, but, yeah, we used to argue about who was the best, PewDiePie, Toby, or Jacksepticeye, and Markiplier. The saddest thing is, Toby's career was unfairly good, so, you know, that kind of sucks. But, yeah, man, YouTube used to be a different place. Around 2016, I really started to believe I was edgy, though, so I started watching a lot of movies. And I'm not proud of that. I still don't, personally, I don't like Markiplier. I was always the guy, I was always the Tobuscus fan. In 2016, man, I was that Leafy guy. Like, I was that one guy from the friend group with Leafy. Like, I don't know why I honestly thought Leafy was so cool. Now I cannot stand him nowadays. Like, I don't know what it was. It was just, you know, the YouTube commentary game was new. I thought it was cool, so I was all into it, and it was weird. You know, it didn't cause me to abandon the tried and true YouTubers I'd stuck with all the way from the start. You know, your Lonely Goombas, again. If you don't watch Lonely Goomba, you really should. He is amazing. Like, I love his stuff so much. But yeah, I was pretty hyped up on that Leafy train. To this day, I still don't know why. I don't think I ever will. I spent the past 2 years as an observer in the commentary community. I spent the last 2 years trying to. I left the commentary community behind, but there's one thing I never left behind, and that was my dream to be lazy. Sega Slayer 64 Complains is a commentary thing. It was something I had always planned to do from way back in the day, from the initial, like, my channel's planning roots started a long time ago, actually. I've never actually talked about this in great detail, but the idea for this channel started long before I actually created a channel. I want to say the roots for me wanting to start a channel goes all the way back to 2014. I just never started one, but I had plans to start one for years. I had a name, and I had an entire channel profile picture things all mapped out. I just never had a way back then to actually do YouTube. I never had an actual way back in the day to do it, so that's why that's another reason it took so long. And even when I did do it, I was doing it from a pretty crappy phone. I had a good phone before that, but then, you know, broke it, so, you know. So I started from, I love the process of how how YouTube has completely just moved me up 10 pegs into what I actually, like my standards in terms of video recording and things like that, and just shot up. tenfold. But I'm not gonna tell you my original idea for a channel name or theme. I'll tell you, it was completely based around. I'll give you a hint. It was the theme was gonna be a mesh between Super Mario Sunshine, because we've already talked about what that game means to me, and Sonic Unleashed, because we all know what that game means to me. And it was gonna be a mesh between those two games, and the profile picture was gonna be, I had this idea to have a werehog, the werehog holding a shine sprite, or like Photoshop it, right? So I had this, and these ideas start and get their roots all the way back from, like I said, 2014 is when the idea truly first started. And so the name was around, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon was never something I had planned to do on my channel, because I always knew, there was one thing I can always tell you, and that was, I always knew from the days of time that when I did start that YouTube channel, it was Sega exclusive from the start. I knew it. The only reason I allowed the golden rule was because I knew one day I would want to play Wario Land and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. So I knew I hadn't been said they were gonna be allowed from the start, but like, yeah, I had the ideas for a channel for years, like years. I knew I had a general idea of what the channel was gonna be called and what I was gonna do on it, and blah 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 blah. I just never did it. It was just Sonic and Pokemon. Yes, I do remember that. Fishsticks 96. What's Fishsticks 96? Was that a plan for you? Was Fishsticks 96 gonna be your original channel name? Cause that's actually pretty cool. There's a reference to a show I've never seen. Okay. I've constantly battled with myself about the idea of a second channel, but I've constantly, see, what's the plan? I've dabbled with myself about a second channel, but I've never actually decided to. There were multiple different undertakings I was thinking of for a second channel. One was so they form into two different categories. But I was too lazy and stuck with blame on you. They formed into two categories for what I was going to do. Half of them involved Martian, the other half was just ideas I had. So, for example, but I'll tell you the reason as why I never started these channels. So, for the two original ideas I had with Martian was, one was going to be a channel called 64 TV, and it was just going to be the 64 TV podcast. It was gonna be a 64 TV podcast, but I guess everyone kind of thought that was lame, so we never did it again. And plus, you know, because it was supposed to be, it was a bit awkward, to be honest with you, because it was supposed to be a show where we would talk about different gaming and wrestling events and other things like that that happened, and other TV shows and all that pop culture stuff that happened throughout that week or maybe that month or whatever, and we just talk and the chat would talk back with us, and there wouldn't be any type of gameplay or anything. It would just be a thing. But and then I just kind of like, I was like, we did a couple tests on my channel, and yeah, the people were there. I remember you were there for the first couple episodes, Lamo too, but it just didn't. I don't know. I feel like it didn't work as well as we wanted it to, so we kind of just failed on that idea. And then our second idea was back in the day. The game was a failed second channel. Not really. I don't think it was failed. But our second idea was to have, again, 64 TV, but it was going to be 64 TV plays. So we were going to do all types of exclusive Let's Plays for exclusive like multiplayer Let's Plays. Like, for example, back in the day, we completed the entirety of Super Mario 3D World together, and that was going to be one of the Let's Plays we were going to do. We were thinking about like Mario Kart 8 and just a bunch of thank you. but we're thinking about a bunch of different videos and names we could have done, and then we just didn't do them because yeah, that just didn't, like, we just never got around to it, to be fair. So one day, like I said, we might end up doing that in the future. There were multiple reasons we didn't do it. The first off was we just never got around to it. Well, Marcin was ready to do it. I was never ready to do it because, first off, while that would have been fun and we would have got to do some cool Let's Plays here and there, I didn't want to... Yeah, there are some, but we were going to do a lot of them. Lego Batman, again, was also going to eventually be one. Lego Batman 2 especially as well. But we never ended up doing it for multiple reasons. Number one, I never got around to it. Number two, it would have been so much extra work that I already didn't. Like, I was already focusing at the time when we had the IIE at Grandly. I was in head first in the middle of the streak. So not only would I had to focus on editing my own videos and uploading my own videos and getting a video out every day, but I also would have had to focus on trying to get consistency on that channel and focus on the numbers for that channel and promoting that channel, and while trying to promote that channel while trying to promote my own channel and work on my own channel. And I was like, and I was like, oh man, that's not something I'm really willing to undertake. And even now, like I said, before I still am looking to undertake something like that, before I'm looking to undertake something like that, I have to establish more often. Like, I have to really kind of fix some of the things that's wrong with this channel for example, like, the upload consistency is getting better, but it's still not as good as I want it to be. It will be eventually. It will be better eventually, but it just is not, like, right now. So I gotta focus more on it in the future, you know what I'm saying? I gotta fix this channel. But like I said, in the future, I'm never gonna forget the idea for that 64 TV Let's Plays channel, because it is a really cool idea to sit down and do entire series with him, you know, like 2K and other things like that, where we can just do entire Let's Plays and episodic videos on that. I think it'd be really cool. That's cool. Way too long. Also, again, Laymotiv, you're starting to get back into the pattern, man, of continually taking a lot of stuff. You don't want it to get confusing at some point, you see what I'm saying? You don't want it to get too confusing, because like I said, you have a lot of stuff going on right now. Like me, I have a lot of series, but like my series aren't like continuous, you know what I'm saying? So you'd have to, because then the problem with having mini-series, right? Don't say that. I'm quite sure he's pretty cool, man. I'm quite sure he's pretty awesome. I'm quite sure a video would be pretty cool. You can hear me right now. We're all, dude. Okay, first off, wait, that's pretty mean, because we're all cringe. We're all cringe. I understand you don't care about consistency, but you run into this little bit problem where you begin to, how you say, neglect other series that maybe might a certain group of people might be more interested in the others, right? Like, and not an example of, it's not necessarily down to consistency. It's the best way to be consistent. Yes, it is, but it's not necessarily a problem down to consistency. No, taking up just random without consistency. The problem is that the system like yours, where you're taking up too many Let's Plays without consistency, leads to this problem where certain Let's Plays begin to feel neglected. I'm just saying, like, look for an example now, right? Look for example, as happy as I am, because I really do love Mega Man 2. You just released but you have just released the second episode of Mega Man 2, and there is, for example, at this point now, the oldest Let's Play you got going on in this new triangle of Let's Plays you got so far is Lego Batman, and it hasn't got a new episode. You see what I'm saying? Despite the fact that technically, if you want to speak in technical terms, it would have been Lego Batman's turn to get its second episode. You see what I'm saying? Which I'm more so, like I said, I'm more so a big fan of Rockman and freaking Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. But you're getting my point. When you begin to take on too many Let's Plays without consistency, then you run into this problem where you're just neglecting some that you might as well have not even taken on. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's not like if you, let's say, you took on all the Let's Plays you were taking on, and then you said, okay, well, each time I release a video, I'm gonna go in a certain order. I've been there trying to. It's not like you've taken these videos and said, okay, I'm gonna take these and put them in a certain order. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, it's all subjective, but I'm just saying, when you don't have consistency, but you take on too many projects, you have to neglect certain others to promote certain others. You know, maybe you might like one more than the other, and so you're just like, okay, I'm gonna continue to do more episodes of this, more episodes of that. Like me, you never see me. I usually, like I said, I pick out my Let's Plays at the beginning or at the very end of every year, and I know which order I'm gonna do them in. I don't necessarily know which order I'm going to do them, but I focus on them at one time. An example, yes, I could start Let's Playing 2 Mystery Dungeon games right now, but that would get very screwed up, because I'd do an episode of one, and then I wouldn't do an episode of other, and then it would just kind of screw the entire system up, because like I said, one ends up getting neglected, and there's where your problem lies. Because like at that point, why did you even bother starting the Let's Play? You see what I'm saying? Which again, it doesn't bother me. I'm more so thinking about, it doesn't bother me per se, because I know this is stuff we've been doing for years at this point. But I'm saying for new potential viewers who might show up and who might particularly like one series over the other, because you never know when you're gonna get that one breakout video. You know what I'm saying? Look, for years upon years, I was sitting here hoping for a video that hit 1,000 subscribers, and it randomly ended up being a 3-second Sonic Rush 3D video about me, Saturn, standing on a cliff. Literally. I put so much work into other videos that I thought were gonna blow up and never blew up, yet other ones that shouldn't have blown up did blow up. So it's always just random, so I'm always just looking into the future, but you know, it's not a big problem, but it is when you just start taking up too many. Like, okay, example, like I said, you got Mega Man, you technically have Pinky in the Brain, but you know, you technically have the Nuzlocke with but those are all on hold, and Pinky the Brain, you know, that's a very Dread series, so we've already been over that. But right now, in total, you have, let's see, Lego Batman, Mega Man 2, Mystery Dungeon, Red Rescue Team, and now you're talking about taking up a Nuzlocke. Now, keep in mind that all of these series, again, that you are taking up, right? And then another thing is that all the series that you have taken up thus far are, so with the exception of Mega Man 2, are relatively long series, you know what I'm saying? Your Lego Batman, your Mystery Dungeon, these are series that could go into the, you know, at least, especially for Lego Batman, but like for Mystery Dungeon, you're looking at, I know, I'm just saying, for a Mystery Dungeon, you're looking at something that's probably going to stretch out into the part 15 type territory, maybe, depending on, because you cut your episodes a lot shorter than I do mine. I know that's another thing. Like, whereas I'm perfectly okay, because I prefer releasing long episodes of something, because I'm like a binge watcher type person myself, so I go based on how I like to watch things. So I'm a bigger fan of longer videos in general from in the content forms I watch. So I'm perfectly happy. In fact, it's my goal to release something that's at least an hour long when I put up content, just so to meet my needs personally. But for you tend to have your videos a lot shorter. Example, you cut your first episode of Mystery Dungeon was half the time of mine, right? I like my videos. Yours was exactly my point. Yours was half the time of mine. So when you're doing shorter episodes like that, you also fit less time into each episode. So you make series even longer than what they already are. And for something like Lego Batman having not one, not two, but technically 6 different stories, 6 different segments all together, because you have three big heroes, and then I'll make 3 hero stories, and then you have 3 villain stories. It's, you know, that's a very huge undertaking for episodes under 30 minutes, and especially because sometimes a Lego level can take you about 30 minutes, you know, unless you're speed running through them. But I'm just saying this as an example. But like I said, when you take on a ton of stuff at one time without consistency, especially super long stuff, because you know, like I said, the NES stuff, that's not, and the worst of the worst, I just won't do the villains. That's still incredibly long for each episode, even without the villains, you know what I'm saying? That's still like a decent amount of time between each episode. Like, personally, I mean, this could just be a throwaway estimate, right? This could be a I'm gonna just throw a little estimate out there. You might not like these estimates, but like, just judging on so far what I've seen from episode times and what you seem to be going for, like I said, under 30 minutes, I'm gonna say it's probably gonna take you, for Lego Batman, I'd say around 30 to 32 episodes. That's at best. And that, I mean, I could be wrong. You could get it done faster, or you could go even slower. That's at like your fastest. I'd say 32 episodes, around something similar to that. Because, that's just what I'm thinking based off the time in these episodes. But again, it could be a lot shorter. For Mystery Dungeon, I'm gonna say my best estimates because, again, you cut Mystery Dungeon relatively short, so. You didn't even give it time to get the treasure back. So if you're gonna do something like that for every episode and you're just looking to only tackle one dungeon per episode, my best estimate would be, and this is like, again, this is at best case scenario, maybe you speed up a little bit. I want to say 25 to 30 episodes is what is, whereas I placed the estimate for mine. No, this is the point I'm saying. This is not the point I'm making here. I'm making the point that it's best that you just stop where you are right now and focus on the 3 Let's Plays you have instead of trying to expand into more. This is just what I'm saying. Right, you're right. 2 episodes in one level is definitely at least an hour long, and if you don't do that type of content, and plus you gotta have the sound to be able to do it, it's a tough choice. It is. So I'm just saying, it's best to just focus on the 3 Let's Plays you got. Because like I said, for Mystery Dungeon at least though, you doing one dungeon per level, especially because certain times, right, like I said, certain parts of the game, there is no story activity unless you do 1 or 2 runs in a Mystery Dungeon. So doing that, there can be, if you're doing that type of situation, you're running into situations, right, where you can go a Mystery Dungeon episode without anything actually happening, which could be kind of frustrating if you're just, you've been excited for the next episode, which is not just me. I'm not saying me, because like I said, I know about Mystery Dungeon, I'm already prepared for that, but there's gonna be a few times, I'm guessing, just from the way you're doing things, where a Mystery Dungeon episode won't even have anything story related happen, and it'll just be you going through a dungeon. So, I'm just saying, it's best you just focus on the 3 you have and try to focus on finishing those up, because you don't want these type of, again, you also do not have a predetermined schedule and no consistency, so you don't want these Let's Plays stretching for 3 or 4 years. You don't want them stretching for like 2 or 3 years, you know what I'm saying? Because technically, Piggy in the Brain is probably the longest Let's Play ever on your channel at this point. That has been stretching for literally quite literally 3 years at this point, and has not been finished, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying, you don't want these Let's Plays to go on stretching for 4 to 5 years. And this is not even me joking, this is like literally. So, like I said, you just don't want to take over, you don't want to take too much under your belt at one time. It's the best way I can try to put things. Which I don't know, again, because when it comes to Nuzlocke, it also just depends on your schedule. Like I said, you don't have consistency, so the Nuzlocke was another one that lasted 3 years or 2 years, because you don't have a roundabout schedule. I see you said it won't be finished, yeah. But yeah, that's just the point I'm trying to make. You don't want to take too many things under your belt, too many long things especially. You know what I'm saying? When you're taking series that are pretty hefty, again, my best estimates for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team, I want to say no bigger than 15 episodes for me personally. I'm hoping so, because my best guess is that I should be finished with it by late February, early March, you know what I'm saying? And after that, I can automatically just begin Explorers of Darkness and hopefully be done with that by June. But also, the Odin does allow me to have an extra bit of consistency that I don't have since, like, example, I can just pull it out anywhere and start streaming. I can just pull it out anywhere and start recording, no matter where I am. I could be on the side of the road and just like, okay, you know what, I got time right now. I'm sitting here. Let me just go ahead and record this episode of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. You see what I'm saying? So, I do recognize that I do have a sort of advantage when it comes to that, and so I understand that, but you know, I'm just trying to, like I said, I was just trying to get the point across that you don't want to take too much under your belt when you already have extremely long series and no consistency. It just leads to more trouble than it's actually worth. You know, we aren't doing, you aren't playing, NES, just multiple NES and Genesis games anymore, you know what I'm saying? Game Boy Advance as well, and technically it's a Game Boy Advance game, but it's a long Game Boy Advance game, or a decently long Game Boy Advance game if you don't know what you're doing. So, you're not playing Sonic 1, 2, and 3 anymore. These are series that are relatively short and in general, so you can pump out a 10-minute episode and still have such a thing done in under 10 episodes if you wanted, probably even less than that. I'm quite sure if someone truly wanted to, they could finish Sonic 3 in less than 5 episodes. Not with the big boys. Exactly what I'm trying to say. You got it exactly in the mark. Where me and you both, I have a PC. I've been had a PC for a long time, and that is like that's the biggest you can get in terms of being on it. But like, the Odin has just opened up the now I have the ultimate of what the big gaming has to do. Like, I have the best of the best and the best of the handheld best. You see what I'm saying? That I am pretty much untouchable at this stage when it comes to YouTube. I am all options that I could ever have open to me are open to me. Long plays from the Odin, big let's plays, big AAA modern day titles from the PC. High big emulation on the PC as well as on the Odin. The ability to record extremely high quality videos on the go anywhere. Like I said, I'm at the pinnacle, right? You finally joined the club. We're at the pinnacle of what we have to record. You know what I'm saying? We've made it, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Our channels kind of made it at the same time, because I finally unlocked the final, and I finally unlocked the final stage I needed to unlock for, which, I still need one more upgrade I want to make to my PC, and that's a graphics card, but, like, we have achieved the top of the top, you know what I'm saying? The cream of the crop, that I'd like to say. So, yeah, like I said, you just don't want to, you can't look at this stuff that you're doing with oh, well, this is just a Genesis game, or this is just a Game Boy game. It's only gonna take me, these games aren't long. I can pump out a 10-minute, 15-minute episode and walk away. You can take that approach with something like Mega Man, because that's still an NES game, you know what I'm saying? But I will forever stay on the console. Yeah, I highly doubt you'll hold that sentiment in a few years, but yeah, I'm quite sure you'll get over. Like I said, I held this in Lame-O-T. I fought with myself I am a very stubborn person, okay? Once I have something, like I said, once I have something made up in my mind, that's it. That's it for me. There is almost no, like, you can try to convince me, and lots of times it won't work to change my personal sense. So coming from someone who I know is very stubborn for years, I said I wouldn't switch to PC, but I wouldn't switch to PC because I knew exactly what would happen when I did switch to PC. That is, I would stop caring about consoles, and in the end, I was right. As soon as but once you get a taste, I'm telling you, once you get a taste of it, you'll never go back. Pokemon stuff. There's Pokeball to catch Pokemon. I was gonna buy Brilliant Diamond, but I've never actually played the original Diamond and Pearl, so I was like, okay. So I didn't really bother buying them. I don't know, man. I'll keep trying to myself, the Series X and Switch are too good. Yes, they are too good, but I'm telling you, I know, bruh. I'm telling you right now, Lame-O-T, you will. The moment you get a tick, like I'm telling you, it's an internal argument. You fight with yourself. You tell yourself, okay, this is why consoles are better. But then you get a taste, and I'm telling you, and there's no avoiding it. Once you will at some point in time in your life. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might not even be within the next decade, but I guarantee you, at some point in time, you will come into contact with PC gaming. You will realize, that because it unlocks everything. Let me tell you, I could even prove it to you. I can completely emulate Switch games at 60 frames a second, full speed, 1080p on my PC, no problem. All the heavy hitters, including Violet and Scarlet. In fact, I can probably run Violet and Scarlet better than I can on my actual Switch. So I'm telling you right now, you begin to realize, like, it'll get you. It gets us all. I told myself for years that it was never gonna get me. It was never gonna get me. I see no reason to emulate games like an official play. No, well, yeah, but I'm telling you, it's not even just emulation. It's just for games you can officially play. If you realize that, oh, wait a minute, there is a good reason to emulate them, because for a game like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which, again, still to this day runs awful on the Switch, like I said, I encountered my fair few bits of crashes and among other things. When you realize that, oh, wait a minute, if I play on my PC, it not only looks 10 times better than it actually does on official hardware, but it just actually is a better playing experience. Some things you cannot deny, just play better on emulators. Like an example of Super Mario 64, 60 FPS, the PC port, it's so much better than online accessibility. Okay, so let's talk about that, Lemoti. Let's talk about that, because that is another thing. Pretty much every emulator nowadays has some form of being able to still play online with random people. Example, I can go on Dolphin right now and set up online lobbies in games like Smash Brawl, freaking Mario Kart Wii, and they still have giant communities of people who just play these games relatively online. And as time goes on, online on emulators will just, the entirety of emulation will become just the entirety of the console put on a chip. You know what I'm saying? We're getting so far advanced with these emulators so fast that the argument that, okay, well, you can't play online with emulators is basically invalid at this point. It's not even basically, it literally is invalid, because with most emulators, you can easily set up online play for these games that had online play. Especially when you're starting to look into the fact that even when these online services are shutting down, their online play has been completely restored. An example is the PSP, for example. Online play on a lot of PSP games has died, yet it's completely restorable on either the traditional PSP or PSP emulation. Not to mention that you can literally like PPSPP, which is the PSP emulator, has complete net play. In fact, I'll even show it to you right now. We're not gonna play anything online, but where is it? There it is. PPSPP, the PSP emulator on Android, completely has online functionality now. It even has ad hoc functionality, so you can not only play any PSP game that was originally online directly on the emulator, you can also play any PSP game that used ad hoc. So I'll explain it. So similar to how you're playing multiplayer with two DSs and it uses Nintendo wireless technology, as they love to call it, which is just a wireless signal, PSP used ad hoc, which was Sony's wireless technology. You can ad hoc between two different devices, Android devices, or between Android and PC nowadays, and not only have these games upscaled at 10 times the higher resolution. I'll show you, because I play these games at, what is it? I usually just play at a 4x resolution, which is 10p, but I can even run most of these games at an 8x or 10x resolution, which is like 10k, dude. I can't even see, this is a 1080p screen the Odin has, and I'm running games at 10k, and I can play them all online, as if they were where they were all those years ago. Like, emulation has advanced to a section to where it's at a point in time, genuinely, where for emulators that are out, it just makes more sense playing on the, why bother running at 10k? Well, you can, but there's no point to right now, because no one has a 10k screen, but in the future you can. But an example is, I'll boot this up really quickly. First off, let me turn on high power mode on the other. I'll boot this up to a, I'll show you what this game looks like at a native resolution, okay? So we'll drop the game down to a native resolution. I probably have to actually restart the game, so I'll restart it. And we'll bump it down to a native resolution of 1x. Now, so that is like 480p, if even that. I don't even think the PSP screen was 480p, but the option is there just to have the option there. 10K is a bit over the market that we need, but you can already, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can already see the fuzziness of this just looking at it normally.
Life with a bore.
You can just, I can already see 144 something like that, yeah. You can already just see how it looks on here. It doesn't look nearly as nice as it would in a 4K. Look, you can see the fuzziness, the blurriness. It's just ugly, man. Sure, it runs at full speed, but it runs fully good in this resolution, but like, dude, it's ugly. It's not nice. Now, see this same fuzzy gameplay right here? The cars look fuzzy. You can't see that far off in the distance, and it looks a little fuzzy. Now, if I take this same game, right? If I take this same game and I bump it up to a 4x resolution, and we go ahead and exit off the PPSPP, and we turn it back on, and we drop back in at a 4x resolution. So this is 10K, 1080p, because there's no point in me running it higher than that because I don't have my screen is 1080p, so that's the nicest I can go. And yes, I can bump it up to a 1440p resolution and on and so forth with no problem, but I honestly just do not need to because, again, you can already see just from the menu that it looks 10 times as good as it did a second ago. Same car, you can already see the cars look 10 times as good as they did before.
Outrun mode.
Same mode.
Life was a bore.
Life is a bore. I haven't watched it personally because I know I don't like it. And you can see, look how much more details the cars have, how shiny they were, how nice everything is. The blurriness is gone. The game is running at full speed, better than it actually does on original hardware. Looks 10 times as nice and feels just as great. I love it. It's just, emulation is so, and again, if this game was multiplayer, I picked a game that is multiplayer actually, but I don't have Martian here to actually demonstrate with me, and he doesn't have this game on his Logitech XT Cloud. And by the way, yeah, he didn't get that. But the point is, I can't stand trying to turn in this game. The point is, and by the way, Outrun 2006 is one of the harder to run PSP games, just so you know. This is one of the harder to run games, and you can attest this to the power of the Odin, of course, if you really want to, but the point is now, it is so possible. Oh my god, this looks so nice. Like, every time I see this, I marvel over this because I would not be surprised if this was a new game that they just told me was coming out today. It adds so much more life to these old games we all used to play as a kid, or wanted to play as a kid, because when I was a kid, I used to drool over this game so much because I always wanted a PSP and never wanted one. It's still out. Oh, figures. Also, do me a favor, man. Language, please. Like, the language. Watch the language, man. In the chat. I'll turn the audio down a little bit, though, so we'll... There we go. But the point I'm trying to make here is, like, I used to drool over this game when I was a kid, right? So, like, this was one of those games I had always wanted and never got, so... I can't hear you. Yes, that's perfect. I turned it all the way down. But the point I'm trying to make here is that, like I said, can you still not hear? Is it still too loud? I used to drool over this game when I was a kid. How does he do it? I can't do it. Is it still too loud? Let me know. Gear shift. But I always wanted this game when I was a kid because first off, I loved Sega. I loved Outrun, and I was joking by censoring myself. Okay, yeah, point I was trying to make here, though, is that emulation gives such new life to these old games. It makes them look so good in a portable fashion. And it's just like I was playing on an original PSP. And it just looks so great. I'm sorry, I just love this song so much. This is real. I can see. Listen, I used to drool over this game when I was a kid. I'd go inside a GameStop and pick it up and just hold it in my hands for so long. For a while, I'm not even gonna lie, For a long time, the PSP made me hate the DS because I wanted a PSP so bad. So bad. And it's not that I never could have got one, it's that by the time I would always ask for other. I never actually just bothered to ask for one. I did one time, and then my mom was like, "Oh well, no," because as far as she was concerned, the PSP was a lot more, how you say, grotesque than the DS. But it really wasn't. It was just certain games that were available on there that you couldn't. Yeah, this is the PSP. We've all had a chance to use a PSP, but I knew so many people with PSPs, and I had the DS, and I was like, oh my god, man, I really want the PSP so bad. I don't regret my decision to stay with the DS. It really was. I don't regret my decision to stay with the DS. Well, I do. I partially do. Because, I don't know. Look at this. I mean, look how nice this looks. This is one of the most intensive sections from this game. Look how nice this is on PSP. Nighttime, all the lights, the rain, the water, the slick cars. Like, you can't tell me at one point in time you didn't want a PSP more than anything when you were a kid. We all did. Everyone who... Oh, man, I crashed again. Nah, I don't, like, that's something I'll never admit. Like, Sony... 2 screens doesn't mean nothing when the PSP had those nice fancy graphics, man, the uncompressed music, literally a PS2 on the go, and it just had so many cooler games that the DS either got in very crappy fashion or just didn't look as good as the DS, like that looked way better than this. I was like, oh my god, the PSP is literally getting full console games. Like, literally, any game that came out on console, I'm gonna fail. Any game that came out on console came out on PSP, and it was just like it was on PS2, and I was like, dear God. I didn't even know the Vita existed until like 2018. I remember when the Vita first came out again, and I did also really want a Vita. I didn't want a Vita as bad as I wanted a PSP. Now, by that point, I had a chance to get a PSP or a 3DS, and I was like, a PSP. I had a chance to get the PSP, the PS Vita, or a 3DS, and I was just like, you know what? At this point, I really don't care anymore. I'll go ahead and take the 3DS. So, you know, I'd rather play more of it. But like, that's something I do always partially regret. I had a chance to get the PSP a little bit after. The first year I asked my mom, she said no. And the next year she said yes. And I was like, I hated Sony when I found out. Like, when I found out the Vita existed. Why? I had a chance to get the PSP that next year, and I could have, but I decided to stick it out with my DS. A decision I do kind of regret, like I said. Sure, I enjoyed my DS for the time I had it, and the DS will always be my 3rd favorite console of all time. It means so much to me. But had I had the chance to hop on that PSP bandwagon, man, I would not have been looking back to this day. Like, I hate Sony. I always will hate Sony. But I'll never forget how much I wanted a PSP. That's something that will never ever leave me. And to this day, I still love playing and discovering as many PSP games as possible that I never got to play as a kid, because I just never forget. I even remember the PSP had DVDs, man. Like, literally. The PSP had DVDs. You could actually fully play high quality video on the PSP, and it actually looked nice. The PSP had video out, man, it came with AV cables, and you could plug it in and literally just play your PS Vita on the TV. It was like PSP. I could have, like I said, we could have easily been Sony, guys. I easily could have been. 3 is the best console of all time. Completely disagree, but. I completely disagree. I disagree. I love the 3DS. It's one of my top 10s, but for me personally, it's never gonna be my favorite console of all time. It's just not. It's an amazing system, and so many of the games are so memorable, and it has so much of my childhood packed into it, including because that's where I watched most of my YouTube at until the Wii U, where I eventually transitioned over to where I watch YouTube on the Wii U. But I'm gonna give the PS3. I really give me the PS3 instead of the 360. Now, there was one thing I was never turning on, and that was Sony's consoles. I was never in my life interested. Before I knew I was a huge Sega fan, obviously, way back in the day. But before I knew all my history on Sega as the entirety, and before I truly became the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, and I was just Marvin, the Sega fan, I didn't hate Sony because of what they did to Sega. I hated Sony because of their controller, and to that sentiment still stands today. I cannot stand the PlayStation controller. It's so uncomfortable and terrible. And I was always in the Nintendo handheld. Nintendo handhelds came because that's just what I got. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. I did ask for one. I asked for the PSP originally. I was told no. I got the DS, and then and Nintendo made me the Sega fan I was. But I never did, and the Xbox, and then I also got the Xbox 360 as well. So I had the DS and the Xbox 360, and when I was home, it was 360 time. When I was on the go, it was DS time. But like, and so many good and terrible games I love on the DS that will forever stick with me. Like literally, oh my god, I never forget how good Outrun Music is. Like just look at these environments. This was a PSP game, man. Like there was just nothing. The DS had nothing to offer that looked like this, played like this, and was as cool as this, in my opinion. Like you know what DS racing games look like. The pinnacle for me is Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing, and there's also Mario Kart DS. But like literally, those games don't look half as nice as this does. Or even let's look at this. Here's this Hot Wheels game. It looks so nice. I thought the Wii U was cool as heck. It's also made by DSi Games. I've always thought that was funny because it's not like DSi Games. They had their name long before the DSi existed. Nintendo home consoles probably would have happened anyway, but still. Nintendo home consoles. I never wanted a Wii as a kid. I got the Wii U because I was like, okay, well the Wii U looks cool, and so I'll get the Wii U. And then eventually. Do I regret getting the Wii U? Kinda. I still wish we kind of went with the Wii U ended up being more of a the Wii U also kind of ended up being more of that middle ground because we couldn't. The Wii U ended up solely being a middle ground because we couldn't. How it worked is we couldn't agree on It was never originally going. We never actually intended to get the Wii U, but we couldn't again. Martian wanted a PS4. I wanted an Xbox One. We couldn't agree. The Wii U was that middle ground, so we took the middle ground, and that's just how that goes. So one of the earliest games I've ever played on the DS was it was called Hot Wheels Beat That, and fun game. But here's what Hot Wheels looked like on the freaking PSP. Like here is what Hot Wheels looked like on the PSP. Look at this. Nothing like Hot Wheels Beat That on the DS. I didn't get this. Like I didn't get to play this. Okay, I was playing Hot Wheels Beat That on the DS with the crappy music and the freaking, and then there was Hot Wheels Track Attack. Like this is the. What if Martian wasn't a gamer? Well then that would be insanely weird because I'd be playing a lot of these. It might change history for the worse, actually, for me. Not because, I think, not because he wouldn't become, I'm an older brother, so, I'd probably have to be honest, I don't really see, there probably is never a situation where he could go without being a gamer, because he isn't, because I'm the older brother, so, there's always that sense of, okay, well, your younger brother looks up to you, so you game, he's probably going to want to game too, but, also, dear God, I'm falling. Look at this though. Look at the giant animations and the things like that. Doesn't play with anything with me. Mine doesn't. And Martian doesn't either really. He doesn't play anything with me too much anymore. And that's the sad part about when your little brother does get older though, because they stop wanting to play with you and either play by themselves or just not play at all. And so that's something sad, at least from an older brother standpoint, because he used to be in, if you're a gamer as an older brother, he's a rage quitter. Oh man. I'm just gonna say we have that in common. I don't even want to play with him. I still want to play with my brother, but personally, I think the thing is we just can't find anything to play together anymore. Back in the day when I used to be the one that usually pick up games, I'd be like, oh hey Martian, and I'd be like, hey, you want to play and obviously Martian sounds good. I'd be like, you want to play Lego Batman together? And you'd be like, oh sure, I want to play together. I want to play Lego Batman. Hey, you want to play Super Smash Bros. And get destroyed? He caught on to the fighting stuff relatively quickly. I said that from the past, and he did. He caught on to that fighting stuff relatively quickly. And no one plays fighting games with me anymore. Oh come on, that is so sick but so hard. Also, oh man, Disney Universe. I remember when we used to play that back in the day, multiplayer, and that really led to a lot of. That was a fun one. There was also we used to play. DS downloaded play was the biggest for us. Mario Kart 7 was probably the biggest multiplayer game we used to play. Anywhere we went, hey dude, let's play Mario Kart. We looked forward to that every day. Sure, we raced those same tracks a billion times. We unlocked everything, but that never got old for us, man. Skylanders, Mario Party on 3DS. Mario, we still play Mario Party Island Tour to this day occasionally. Yeah, but yeah, we used to play Mario Party together a lot too. But that one, he never played Pokemon with me. Martian never played Pokemon with me either because he doesn't like Pokemon. And then once I stopped liking Pokemon, it was a topic that was left to die. And even to this day, I still am kind of rocky about, because I for a minute after I beat, I had that post-Violet high where I was like, okay, you know, maybe the Pokemon series has been saved for me. Maybe I am gonna get back into it. But now that I've kind of just sat here and resonated after beating the game for after a month, I've started to also change my mind again as to if I truly want to get back into the Pokemon. Like it's crept back up on me. I was like, okay. I had the post-game high where I was like, okay, I love these characters, I love the story, maybe the next Pokemon game. And then I kind of sat down and thought about it. I was like, but you know what? I did just waste $60 on this game, and there's literally, after I beat it, because I don't care about shiny hunting, I don't care about shiny hunting. I did the battle, when we did our little battle thing, it was cool, but then again, after we had to make the rules quote unquote fair, I lost, so I was like, okay, well, you know what, there's really no reason for me to play this game. And so I kind of like I said, I don't know, I probably won't continue on in the Pokemon series. I might, but after she's another try. After the post-Violet high kind of wore off, I was like, Was that really the Metropolis area? Because that didn't really look like a Metropolis. Oh yeah, it was, I guess, because of the let's go to the jungle. But almost died right there. He didn't like Yokai. He didn't like Yokai Watch. Almost died right there. But yeah, so I was I don't know. I'm probably not gonna continue on in the Pokemon. I don't know. I might mainline. I don't know. It's just like I said. I kind of also realized that I didn't really get my money's worth when it came to Violet. Come on, what the heck? I didn't really get my money's worth when it came to Violet, if I'm being honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I played it. I beat the game. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the characters, but again, most Pokemon characters are one-offs. I never could get into Yokai Watch. I almost brought it multiple times, but I couldn't do it. I much prefer like Attack of the Friday Night Monsters or Attack of the Friday Monsters. I always said Attack of the Friday Night Monsters. It's just Attack of the Friday Night Monsters. But I could wait. Hold on. That kind of made me believe that was something. But I never could. Like I said, I don't know. I can't really. After, like, I enjoyed the characters, but then again, all the characters of that Pokemon Violet are never going to be seen again. So you know, that's a bit sad. You know what I'm saying? Then there was I don't care about. I'm not a shiny hunter. I'm not searching for shinies. I'm not actively trading Pokemon. I'm not actively going out and looking. I have to have this Pokemon. And then I'm not actively online battling, because let's be honest here, I won a few battles online, and then I got my Pokemon all to high levels, but now everyone is probably caught up, and I died. I died, and I was just kind of like, you know, I didn't die. I leveled up. I just stopped grinding. There's no point in me grinding anymore. There's nothing else to do. I don't know. I believe if Pokemon games had a little more post-game content for me, I could maybe stick around. Like if there was at least some DLC, maybe some more adventures with these characters Nintendo could release to prop up these games. You know, I swear, I don't like this game. More adventures they could have to prop up the game. I'd probably play it again, but like I said, as it stands, I have not touched Pokemon Violet since that day of our battle. That was it. That was the last time I touched the game. just wait for Pokemon Day. Like, literally, I'm not even making a joke. I'm not joking with you. I'm not playing around. The last time I touched freaking, Pokemon Violet was the day me and you did our battle, and that was it. I haven't played it since, or at least I haven't touched it in relative fashion. Maybe I might have clicked on it once or twice that I don't even remember about, but I haven't played it. There's just no reason for me to go back to it, I felt. February 27th. I just felt like there was no reason. Like I said, the problem with Pokemon for me is that the problem has always been with Pokemon for me. Not that I can't get down with the story. I think that's the thing. I genuinely enjoy the story, but I've never played the games like they're meant to be played. Pokemon Company makes its announcements. I've never played Pokemon like it's meant to be played. I think that's the problem I've truly come to understand, is that, yeah, I can play Pokemon, I can get a nice little team going, I could design a team for him to help me out in the story, but it'll never have that long-lasting playthrough factor for me. I like going through the stories, I like doing all that stuff, but I don't like grinding. I still don't like grinding. I still don't like going through and building the most efficient teams to do this and do that. I kind of just, like, sure, I had the team. I really worked hard on that team. I did grind them all up and get them all decent, but I never put thought into it as much as I truly wanted to. I never wanted, like, the grinding didn't become enjoyable for me. It became easier, sure, but it didn't become something that I enjoyed. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen these other cars yet, and this is the third lap. That's how bad I'm doing. Right? I'm in 8th. I haven't seen these other cars yet, but it didn't become. It became easier, but it didn't become more enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Is that in our car? I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. It probably might not make as much sense as I think it does in my own head, but like, as simple as that, it just never became easier to oh yeah, you can go in slow motion. That's pretty freaking cool. My Pokemon get stronger. That's what I'm saying. I never had that sense. I never gained that for me throughout my Pokemon Let's Play. I can evaluate it a little bit more because it's been a while since I played it, but like I never did gain that. Like I like the, like I said, I had the story high. I like the story. I like the characters, especially Arven. Arven will forever be, I don't know, Mega Goat. Arven the Goat, as I like to call him. He was, like, his story was so good. The Path of Legends was probably my favorite by far. But it still didn't resonate with me. It got easier. XP share made it. That's another thing. Sure, I could grind my Pokemon, and the best thing about it was that I was able to grind my Pokemon without grinding my Pokemon. So while making it easier helped alleviate a lot of the separate grinding, grinding was still grinding. It was just grinding using one Pokemon instead of using all of my Pokemon in tandem. You see what I'm saying? And so it didn't take away it didn't fix any of the aspects of the game I don't like. And it didn't change the fact that I don't like trying to sit here and build effective teams. I just like having a Pokemon go. Like, maybe if there was I think the thing about Pokemon for me that would make it a lot more worth my time. I pray every day they will give us an option to turn it off. I don't want it to go off because, first off, again, that would automatically reintroduce the fact that I really hate grinding even more than I already do. Even more than with the. I think how Pokemon could truly fix itself for me, if I'm being honest with you, is a. Well, no, because how would that even work? We had the choice. I was gonna say if they had something similar to maybe like a story-centric mode, or like a linear option that just took you from place to place, but then again, that would defeat the entire purpose of the game, because what's the point of fighting the gyms if you have like one predetermined Pokemon, and you gotta, like, that would just defeat the entire point of the game, right? You see what I'm saying? So I can't really think of an idea. And then I looked at Pokemon Legends Arceus, I believe that's how it's pronounced, and I was like, okay, I'm definitely not buying this game, because this game is literally all the parts of Pokemon that I do not like consistently. So I was like, okay, nope, this game is not for me, because it is literally everything I already hate about Pokemon, but just take that and make that the sole really main focus of the game, and you have something that I'm just completely out of tune with. So no, I don't really think I'm going to continue down line with Pokemon. I'm pretty upset too because I kind of brought. I kind of thought to myself, yeah, it has a cool story, but it also just, like I said, the main elements of the game are, and it removes the only thing that kind of does alleviate some of the Pokemon pain, and that's battling. You know what I'm saying? It's more, at least from what I've seen, at least from what I've seen, it's not about the battling, it's about the catching and the training and all that good boring stuff, like literally. Like all the things I dislike mainly about doing in Pokemon, it still holds on to. And so, and the only thing I do regret is that I did not buy Violet physical. I got it digitally, and I'm kind of upset I did that because now I can't, I can't actually go back and sell the game. So I'm just stuck with it on my Switch forever, which is kind of, I can't even make half of the money that I spent on it back. And it's not like I said, it was an enjoyable experience, but I'm not going to replay it ever. Because first off, I don't want to lose the team I've already built up. You see what I'm saying? If I ever want to replay the game, I'll have to delete all my save date and start over and do all the grinding I want to do just to play the, so I'm never going to do that. You see what I'm saying? So now it has just become a $60 paperweight that is just sitting on my Switch that will probably never be played again. Or never be played in any sort of consistent fashion again. You see what I'm saying? So I've just run into this situation where I've kind of just screwed myself all around. I've learned my lesson though. I've truly kind of just determined that Pokemon just truly in its normal traditional form will never be for me. You can pick a different file and not restart. Yeah, but again, I just don't. I literally have no reason to restart because I'd want to experience the story again, but I don't want to experience all the stuff I had to do before, grinding and this and that just to beat the Ice Gem. Which again, plus again. By the way, let us not forget that I beat the game literally within 3 days of launch. Literally. And not even really 3 days because I technically beat the game in 2 days. It just took an extra day for the post content. I beat the Path of Champions literally the first day I got the game. All 8 gems. From the first day the game came out. As soon as it drops, all the way through the rest of the day. Because it dropped at 12 a.m. So I did take a little gap in between where I went to sleep, but it's all one day. So it took me the entirety of 1 day to beat all 8 gems, literally. And by the time it dropped at 12 a.m., by the time it was 2 o'clock, was the time I believe I had went to bed, I had already been through 2 gems. Literally. So at that point, I was like, okay, let's take a step back. Because not only was the story it wasn't long enough, it was a great story. Not only was it just kind of relatively short in that it took me 2 days, they preached, what I don't like is that, like I said, they kind of tricked me a little bit because they preached that, okay, do 3 different stories, do them in whatever order you want, tons of content, big open world. The problem is when you have a big open world, right, Lemotu, and then you fill it with nothing, there's also nothing that kept me going. There's nothing to keep me going anymore, you know what I'm saying? I think that is another problem that could actually be alleviated with Pokemon, right, is if they do everything they did right with Violet, right, because they did a lot of stuff right with Violet. If they do all that stuff and do everything they did right, but actually fix the game to where there's more stuff. There's no random side quests, there's no, at least not any of notion that I can think of, you know what I'm saying? It's not any really true good random side quests. There's nothing to do. It's a big open world where once you beat the story, there's nothing to do. Right, sure, you look for shiny Pokemon, but there isn't a big point of, selling point of, online games is that they have side quests and things you can actually look into to get yourself established. You know what I'm saying? They have different side quests and things you can do to actually, not be bored. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to. What's the point of having an open world and looking for all these Pokemon if there's like no reason for me to genuinely keep going? Right? Let's see. Here's a Dragon Ball game for the Sega Genesis. Let's play it. I've never actually played this, so we're gonna pick. Let's pick Cell. Yeah, but there's that Ready Fight they used in Virtual Fighter. Who developed this game? Wait, hold on. I don't know if you could hear that. I'm gonna turn the volume up really quickly. There's just no, like I said, there's just no point in genuinely me continuing on. Gohan looks cursed. Hold on, play Disney Plus. No. Look, let me let you hear something real quick. I don't know if you heard that, but if you listen, they reuse that The freaking listen, they reused that Ready Fight in Virtual Fighter 2. I'm gonna show you. Listen.
Ready, fight!
So you heard that, ready, fight, right? Now watch this. If I go down here all the way to the very bottom, right? All the way to the very bottom, they reuse that. Those are some cheeky little suckers, man. Where's the V's? Hold on, I'll read that. Why isn't Tien playable? He was, I'm pretty sure he was. Virtual Fighter 2, which one? Here we go. So listen, I don't know why they completely just reused that same thing, but they did, so we'll go with Pi. Oops.
Ready,
You hear they use the same voice for some reason. I don't like they use that same thing. I don't know why they did that. But yeah, Pokemon I think me and it will just never be able to truly mix. There's no reason for me to continue playing the game personally, because if one of your main points for hating Pokemon for as long as you did, or at least not being able to truly like it like you could, was that you didn't like the grinding and stuff, and then they make the grinding a lot more easier and actually kind of worth it to do. It's a mix. I can't truly decide, but it's between Yamcha and Krillin. And Master Roshi, of course. Or the Turtle Hermit, as I like to call him. It's between those three. But pretty much just every human character. Pretty much. Power is not everything, you know. It's Sarah, Jackie Bryan's sister, who gets captured in Virtual Fighter animation. Get destroyed, you. Virtual Fighter is such a top tier series, and the stories are always so good. Wait, what happened to the Japanese name? And what happened to Japanese names? Why Yamcha and Krillin? What do you mean what happened to Japanese name? I thought you were dumb about those. I am dumb about those. Wait, dumb? What do you mean dumb? Wait, first off, I am. It just depends on who I care about. Like Krillin and Yamcha, I don't care about saying their Japanese names. Goku is just Goku-san, so you know, or San Goku, it's really no difference. Now, when it comes to Turtle Hermit, I like the name Turtle Hermit a lot more than Master Roshi. Master Roshi is kind of boring, so I tend to say Turtle Hermit a lot more than I do Master Roshi. Let's see, it just depends on who it is. Tao Pai Pai, I do call Tao Pai Pai. Krillin's Japanese name is like Kirin or something. Krillin's not the Japanese. I understand. Listen, I specifically said I don't care about certain names, and then certain ones I do. Like, for example, Krillin, I'll still call Krillin. Yamcha, I'll still refer to as Yamcha. But Tao Pai Pai is, I don't even remember what it's Mercenary Tao, I believe it is, right? I'm calling him Tao Pai Pai. I'm calling, I like calling Piccolo Sama sometimes. I do it sometimes, not always, but sometimes. Wacky Racers released on Genesis too? I did not even mean to click this, first off. And second off, I didn't even know. Yo! Hold on. Wait, pause. Hold on. Because last time I checked, well, you know, Sega did that Welcome to the Next Level video, where, you know, the blast processing, where they showed how much faster the Sega Genesis was, and they put Sonic against Super Mario Kart. But one of the things Nintendo said that the Sega Genesis couldn't do was Super Mario Kart, and here's Wacky Racers, an officially released Sega Genesis game. I swear, sometimes I honestly don't understand why Sega just did not think. All right, because an example, they said, oh, trademark Mode 7 graphics, and that Sega could never do anything like this. And look at Wacky Racers. Now tell me right now that this ain't, like, look, this is clearly a thing they could have done. This is clearly a thing. Right here, there's literally nothing stopping them. There was nothing stopping them from marketing. You can even jump. There was nothing stopping them from marketing this game. Which, not that this game is particularly good, or making their own, like, Sonic carts to go up against Mario Kart. It's like, there was nothing stopping them. This isn't cool, though. Well, you don't like Wacky Racers? I like Wacky Racers. You've never watched the Wacky Racers? I swear, man. You young people and your freaking on what?
Carry-On.
Yes, but even you like freaking Wacky Races now, don't you?
I like the game.
Yeah, but you know you still like it. Even you like Wacky Racers. Let me know you straight up just calling Wacky Racers dumb. Why would Sonic drive? Sonic literally, so it's fair for, it's literally, I swear, everyone who always asks that question has always came off actually genuinely retarded to me though. Like, oops, well, dumb. Because first off,
Wait a minute.
what?
You know it's YouTube, right?
I know it's YouTube. I didn't mean to. I already said I've done it before, but I'm just saying.
Changed more stuff. Now it's even worse.
I know it's even worse. Look, Lemochi was just age restricted today for putting the F word in his title. They just changed stuff, right? Yeah, I knew it. I saw that there was a new update that made it even.
They just changed it. Everybody been talking about it.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, that's why. There you go, Lemochi. YouTube has upgraded its rules even more just recently. So.
Everybody making videos saying it's getting out of hand now.
It's getting out of hand, yeah. So he got age restricted today just for his title. So you know that might shed some light on that. But the thing is, Sonic literally anyone who's ever said that has come off completely idiotic and stupid to me. Why does Sonic need a car? Ask yourself this, right? Ask yourself this.
I say it all the time.
Why does Batman need kryptonite? Because if not, it's completely unfair.
You right now, Batman can figure out a way to kill Superman.
How can you? There's no way to kill Superman unless you
figure it out.
Red Sun. And last time I checked, despite the fact that Batman tells us literally not the same speed of Sonic. I can literally.
I tell you this all
listen.
the time. He seemed like he'd be moving pretty quick to me.
I can literally disprove this right now. I can disprove this in 6 different ways right now, and it's because I have to. I'm going to. I'm gonna disprove that. I'm gonna disprove this theory. I'm gonna have to disprove this right now. I'm glad you. And I'm gonna disprove it in multiple ways too. I'm not even just gonna disprove it in one way. I'm gonna go ahead and disprove this in 2 ways because first off, let's just go right. Oops. One of the biggest complaints in your own words, Lemochi. This is your own words right here. One of the things everyone hates about Sonic 2 is literally Tails. Now, watch this. Watch this. It has been established for a long time now that not only is Tails not as fast as Sonic, he can barely keep up. Look, he's completely gone. He can't even keep up. Yes, but because it would be completely unfair. That Sonic needs kryptonite to actually be able to stay fair with everyone else. You can't listen. Sonic is winning every time. That's just unfair. It negates the entire point of a race. It's not a race if Sonic is just guaranteed to win every time. It's not a fight if Batman is gonna one-shot Superman every time. I mean, if Superman is gonna one-shot Batman every time. You see my point? And for an evolution of this same thing, if we go on over here down here to yeah, Knuckles is slower. Tails only plays at the same speed because he actually does not. Even if you play the game as Tails, he still runs slower than Sonic. Even Sonic Adventure even does the best job of any of them conveying this. Where is it? My save file is in. No, it's in slot B actually. Sonic Adventure does a perfect job at conveying this, so I'm gonna have to okay, so let's go to Windy Valley here, right? Now look, watch this. So people yet Tails is at the same speed. No, he is not! No, he is not! Literally, if you play as him in Sonic 2, he's slower. But look, even if we run here, even if we go here and we play Sonic Adventure normally, I guarantee you we'll outrun Tails. We'll never really see him again unless you see him flying by. Like literally, he is so much slower than Sonic. He physically can barely catch up. I don't even understand why they put him in this game. Why they even put him in this game? Because he is so when you actually get in. Well, this is a more unopen area, but even then, he's still behind me. We need to get into a more open area where I can show you, particularly when we're running down the 2, 3, K. He does run slower than Sonic in all of those
You
games.
should be able to get
Now,
out of
okay,
tornadoes.
now also you have to imagine this, right? You have to be realistic for a second here, right? Any situation where Sonic and Tails are actually genuinely compared to each other. So if you're playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles or Sonic 2 and Tails and Sonic are both on screen, he is slower by far and distance. Now, when you're playing the game, Knuckles is slower. Now, when you're playing the game and you play with them by your actual self, when you're playing just with Tails, of course it's gonna look like he's the same speed as Sonic, because he probably is, because the game designers made it that way. So when you're actually sitting down playing the game, you're not running it 10 times slower than Sonic. But if you have Sonic and Tails on screen at the same time, Sonic will always outrun Tails. Always, every time. It's a proven fact. There's no way you can get around this. It's a proven fact. Sonic will always outrun Tails. He will always be behind him. Look, even now, Tails cannot catch up. He is there, but he's not going the same speed or faster than Sonic. He is completely behind Sonic. And even in the races in this game, when you play Tails' story, come on, grab on. Even when you play Tails' story, the only way Tails is able to even get close to beating Sonic, look, Tails is nowhere to be found. He is nowhere to be found. Where is he? There he is, way back there. He can't even keep up. And I even have further proof of this, because Tails has said it himself. He's not as fast as Sonic. These are things that have come out of the characters' mouths. In any situation where you completely compare Sonic and Tails right next to each other, you can clearly see that Sonic outpaces Tails by a mile. I'm gonna read that chat in a second. But look, even now, I'm not even going that fast, and Tails is still nowhere to be seen. There he is, flying again. Where is he right now, Lemotu? If he's just as fast, if not faster, where is he? If he's just as fast as Sonic, where is he at the moment? Because I can't see him. Can you? Oh, would you look at that? I still don't see him. Do you see him? I still do not see him. Do you see him? I still don't see him. It's only when I get here, and then I stop and wait for him to come a whole, like 10 or 15 seconds later. Okay, I really have to disprove this argument right now. Clearly he's at the same speed just behind. No, you can't be the same speed as something and then be behind it. That is literally impossible. Listen,
Yeah,
even if you play multiplayer, a constant problem with Sonic 2 is that if you play Sonic 2 multiplayer, you will literally not be able to play with the second player because Tails will never be able to run as fast. Literally, this is the most retarded argument I've ever heard in my life. I don't even care about YouTube. This is a fact. The reason I've tried to get Martian to play this game with me. He literally won't play with me because Sonic outruns Tails so much faster. That is completely true. It's completely true. He literally will not play this game with me because Sonic outruns Tails. Literally, you get to the point, right, where Tails is not even visible on screen half the time. I have played this game multiplayer my entire... Sonic is in the screen. I have played this game my entire life. There's no way Tails is not even as fast. We can look it up. Official Wikipedias. We can look it up. Well, just look at that. This is just Sonic. Look, this is an example right here of Sonic on his base. This is Tails at his fastest. 562 miles per hour. That's his fastest. Sonic at base is at least 750 miles per hour. And this is not even before we get into this is just different stuff. This is before we even get into, if we read the fandom page, we can even read different things from the comics manuals. It's a proven fact. It's a proven fact. Even if we read, this is proven. This is all stuff that has been, listen. It's not because Listen, Lemotu, are you hearing yourself? Are you hearing yourself? Okay, So you're saying your argument here is that Tails is just as fast, just he can't keep up with the screen. If the screen was always on Sonic and Tails was just as fast as Sonic, he would have no problem keeping up with the screen. Or is it just that the screen is just magically faster than Tails? Yet Sonic and Tails are the same speed? Is this what you're saying? If Tails was just as fast, there would be no problem with him keeping up with the screen. Now, would there? Because he would be moving at the exact same speed as Sonic. Even if you move at the same time in a multiplayer Sonic the Hedgehog 2 game as Sonic, you can literally press down the controls at the same time, Sonic will still outrun Tails. There is no, your argument is completely invalid. It's two different people and the camera is on one. It doesn't matter. He would still be able to hold his weight in the screen. Even just a little bit. He completely goes off screen. There's just no way. What you're saying here makes zero sense. We even can prove this via, if we look at things like the Olympics. The camera is able to stay on every runner, even moving cameras, despite the fact that some of them are faster. Tails is so much slower than Sonic, and again, this is not even, this argument is already invalid because Sega themselves has said Tails is 10 times slower than Sonic, so the argument's already invalid in that area. But even just speaking on Sonic 2 directly, there's just no way, if Tails was moving at the exact same speed as Sonic, if he's just as fast as Sonic, he cannot stay even just a frame in the screen. No, that does not make any sense. Two people doing two different things. They're doing the exact same thing. Running. They're doing the exact same thing. There are multiple areas in the game of Sonic 2 where you can outrun Tails in the exact same area. Example, right here in Emerald Hill. You can completely outrun Saga. You can completely outrun Tails. And let's even for a second, right? Let's even open and do multiplayer. Sure, okay. But there's no way I can do multiplayer because I don't have a freaking second player. So there's like genuinely no way I could do multiplayer even if I wanted to. You see, because Tails just won't move. But the point I'm speaking here is that the camera should still easily be able to follow Tails. Get a second controller. I don't have a second controller. This is the Odin. This isn't PC. This is the Odin. I have no way to prove it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to do it on my PC eventually. But the point I'm trying to make here is that, okay, let's for a second even pretend, just for like 2 seconds here. Let's pretend that this argument is even just slightly valid, right? Let's just pretend it's even slightly valid. It would still be a dumb argument because guess what? I don't have a Bluetooth controller on me at the moment, Lamo, to you. Literally, I have my wired controller over there. And plus, even if I had a Bluetooth controller, there'd be latency, but my Xbox controller is wired, so I don't, and Martian's Xbox controller is wired as well, so I don't have. But even, let's just for a second go with it for a second and say this argument is valid. Okay. Let's just say for a second, Lamo, to you that this argument is valid, okay? So let's look at all the other reasons as to why Sonic still would have to use a car. Let's see, as you said in your own words, Knuckles is slower, Amy is slower. Metal Sonic we know for a fact can go at the same speed as Sonic, or at least the same base speed as Sonic, okay? But he's not in every game. There's no way Eggman, there's no way Rio, there's no way any of these other characters are going nearly as fast as even Sonic and Tails. Even if we play a game like Sonic Heroes, even in Sonic Heroes, Sonic drastically outruns every other person because he's the speed type. He's the speed type. And they can stick, and Sonic Heroes completely, again, disproves this Sonic 2 argument because each character, Knuckles and Tails, show that they can stay in. Oh my god. This argument is, again, disproven by Sonic Heroes alone, because if we actually start the game here, Knuckles and Tails prove that they can stay in the camera with Sonic, yet they cannot run as fast as him. Even if I actually completely restart this game and we look at the opening cutscene where Tails and Knuckles hop out the plane, it's shown that they can run with Sonic, but they still cannot keep the same speed as him. They can stay in camera with him, but they are a considerable distance behind him, always. There's no way. I'm hurting my voice. I'm literally holding my throat talking about this. No, just look. I want to show this as another prime example, because Sonic and Knuckles and Tails are clearly still fast enough to stay on camera, yet they cannot move as fast as Sonic. Look. Sure, Tails is closer behind Sonic than Knuckles is. That is a proven fact. But he still cannot move as fast as Sonic can. Even when I'm going to restart the game specifically for you, I'm just going to, for now, I'm going to, how I'm going to do is I'm going to save it here so I just don't lose this later on. And we're going to, I'm actually going to take the time to reset this game for you and actually restart all my progress. No, they are not. That does not make sense. It doesn't make sense, Lamo, to you, what you're talking about. If you're moving at the same speed, you have to be either side to side or like not a considerable distance behind each other. There's just no way. Or are you claiming that there is an invisible barrier that is just keeping Tails? Listen, if you're moving at the same speed, are you claiming that there is just an invisible barrier that is physically keeping Tails from moving up and Knuckles moving up to the side of Sonic? There's no way you're running as the same speed as someone, yet you're behind them. Yes, but you also won't be a distance behind them as well. This is the thing. The distance is not maintained. Listen, I could easily, if I'm as fast as someone, I could just as easily catch up and be on side of them. Shadow can do it. Sonic and Shadow can catch up on side of each other, literally, and we know they are around the same speed. So that argument is again invalid. Why is it if they are the same speed and Shadow can prove that he is completely side to side with Knuckles? With Sonic, he is completely side to side with Sonic, shoulder to shoulder, going at the same speed. Yet you're just saying Knuckles and Tails can't do it somehow. This is what you're saying. This is so. Explain to me what magical powers allow Shadow to do it. Someone that Sega has officially said is, if not, is the same speed as Sonic. I'm just curious. And even if we watch the opening cutscene here, I'm just curious. Why is it that we know for a fact Shadow can run side to side with Sonic, yet Tails and Knuckles can't? They're never shown to ever actually run side to side with him, yet Knuckles always can. Yet Shadow always can. But then it would be able to catch up on side of... I've drove in a car for 20 years in my life. There have been cars going the same speed limit on a highway as me, in the same lane or the lane next over, and yet those cars always seem to stay side to side, unless one intentionally proceeds to pass. Why is it that... I want you to answer this question in general fashion. Why is it that Sonic and Shadow can be side to side with each other? Shadow can even catch up and have a side to side conversation with Sonic, yet Tails and Knuckles always remain a distance behind. Even right here in this cutscene. They completely hop out, and you can see they are a great distance behind Sonic. So explain to me then how it's possible. You're saying they wouldn't, yet they have done it before. There are clips of them doing it in tons of different areas. Even in that cutscene, we saw that Sonic and Knuckles and Tails were a great distance behind Sonic. There's no way you're going the same speed as Sonic, and then you're a completely just different. There's no way you're going the same speed as Sonic, right? But you're a high distance behind him. Even then, look, an example again. Sonic moves so much faster than Tails and Knuckles. Even like I said, Tails. I've already proved that Tails at his fastest is nowhere near Sonic at his base speed. It's just a fact, Lamo, to you. It's just a fact, whether you would like to accept it or not. This is an official thing Sega themselves has put out. Sonic Team themselves has said in games, and television, and other media. Even if Tails dreamed Tails' base speed is just nowhere near as fast as Sonic's base speed. He does fall behind in most cases. I completely fell off the stage. I already showed you in Sonic Adventure, Tails has no way. And I've already showed you in Sonic Adventure 1 just now that you completely outrun. Tails has no way of even maintaining a close enough distance behind the camera for him to even be considered following Sonic anymore. He gets so far behind you that he cannot even be considered to be following you anymore. He's just going in the same general direction as you are at that point. Because he gets so far, Sonic outruns him by so much, it is genuinely actually outrageous. There gets to a point to where you can't even be considered to be following someone anymore when they outrun you at such a pace that you are not even remotely visible in their field of view anymore. Yet you're going the same speed. Explain. I'm done. I genuinely cannot be bothered anymore. I cannot be bothered anymore. As I was saying before, let's just even for a second pretend your argument was even remotely valid, right? And that Sonic and Tails, despite the fact that again, Sega themselves have officially said Tails has said out of his mouth that he is nowhere near as fast as Sonic. We know for a fact his base speed, his fastest speed is 520 miles per hour, where Sonic's base speed, not even anywhere close to his fastest speed, is 720 miles per hour, right? Let's just take it at face value, for example. Again, everyone else is still slower than that. Including Knuckles, including Tails, including Knuckles, including Amy, Eggman, every other Sega character that is in, for the most part, in all of Sonic's racing games. They're all still faster. They're all still significantly slower than Sonic. They're all still significantly slower. So Sonic still has to have a car. Okay? He still has to have one. The entire argument is still invalid. He still will always have to have a car, or else it would negate the entire purpose of having a race in the first place. Oops. Okay, my headset died. Is it? Am I back? Am I back? Hello? Oops. Okay, my headset died. No, there we go. Yeah. I'm gonna end the stream here because first off, either way, my voice is completely done now. Like completely. Like my voice is completely finished at this point, so I'm literally just gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you for tuning in, Lamo, to you, all that good stuff. Yeah, goodbye.